This section of the DevTrack product export training will cover organizing your project team's work with subproject trees. The topics we'll cover include enabling subprojects in your system, simple subproject management, access control and applicable issue owners, and the dev plan view of subprojects, as well as using subprojects with iterative development. The basic configuration of the subproject feature is done on the Dev Suite admin. You simply open up your DevTrack project, go to the Advanced Features section, down to Subprojects. Under General Settings, make sure that Enable Subproject is checked off, as well as the optional features for access control and applicable owners. You can further define statuses for subprojects, as well as priorities, some custom fields, issue types, all at the subproject level. Once you've enabled this feature, be sure that you go to the account types section of the admin as well. And every account type has a set of subproject features for creating, editing, defining access control, etc. The remainder of the subproject features are really in the DevTrack client web interface, and we'll go there now. In DevTrack Web, you see on the left-hand side, once the subproject feature has been enabled, there is a subproject tree. The subproject tree can be organized in any way that makes sense for your team. It can be by release, by functional area, by team group. It is simply a way to organize the work within your development team. To create additional layers, you can simply come to any branch of this tree and under the Actions button, create a new subproject as a child. We're going to call this Client Performance Issues. You can see that the subproject itself has a set of properties. It can have a start date and finish date values if you want to begin to schedule these subprojects. Percent complete, define status and priority that was defined in the admin. You can also have access control. By default, subprojects are available to everybody, but you can also define the access control that only certain account types, only certain groups, or certain individuals will have the privilege to even see that this subproject exists. You can further define the issue owners. By default, again, everybody is applicable, but if I choose to define issue owners, I can say that only certain people or certain groups or certain folders will be allowed to own issues that will exist within this subproject. Once I've created the subproject, I can switch between views here. The left-hand view will show me the issues within a subproject, and the right-hand icon, the folder icon, will show me the subproject properties itself. Now, whenever I create an issue, it will, by default, automatically exist in the current subproject of focus. So if I create an issue now within the client, and this is a new bug, and I will fill in the mandatory fields, and go back to my client view, I can see that I now have one bug record here. So this is a way to organize all of the work, whether it's bug fixing or development, and you can see at any level either just things at that level directly, or you can check off this box to view issues in any child level folder beneath the current area of focus. DevPlan provides a project planning view into that same subproject tree. If I go ahead and refresh this tree, since I just created a new subproject, and if I look now under my new features and performance, I'll see there's a client branch here, and I can begin to schedule the timeline for these subprojects. So DevPlan is essentially a project planning view into your subproject tree, which will give you critical paths, dependencies, timelines, as well as resources, access control, issue owners that can be managed here within DevPlan as well. Back to the Dev Suite admin, if we go down to the Agile support section, right now I have iterative development turned off. I'm going to go turn this back on to Scrum development. The Agile development feature uses the subproject tree, but it creates a predefined iterative architecture within that subproject tree. I'm going to reload my settings here and come back to DevTrack Web, and I'm going to refresh my issue list. And now you can see that there's another layer here. Instead of just folders, I actually have a specific structure of releases, of milestones, of iterations that helps me better manage the development process. There's another section of this training that specifically focuses on iterative development if you'd like to know more about that specifically.